Haruna Kabanda ndeuze muwandiisi wa kabina kapirao Patriotic League of Uganda PLU akali defunct kati akakulemberwa Muhoozi Kainerugaba atugamba nti gye buvuddeko Muhoozi Kainerugaba nga awandiika ku mukutu gwe ogwa X formerly Twitter bwe yali ayogera ku n'akozesa erinnya Kabobi mbu ye tamanyi Kabobi yani takamanyi nako mbu ako Kabobi keekaani mbu oba yali agamba mukwano gwe Kabobi keekaani.
Is a general and command of the defense forces saying, as far as I'm concerned, Kabobi is a lumpen, illegal, delinquent, who does not and never qualified to stand for the high office of the president of Uganda.
Who is Kabobi? I don't know Kabobi. I need to ask him the person he meant. Because I know if you say the leader of National Unity Platform, I know his names. He's called Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobi Wine. But I don't know Kabobi. Maybe he was talking about his either a friend called Kabobi, or he was talking about his driver called Kabobi, but he has not anywhere mentioned that Bobi Wine or Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu will never and does not qualify to be a president of the Republic of Uganda.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
Very glad to be here on Mordecai Marissa TV.
Absolutely. Webale nnyo kubeera nga weegasse ku Mordecai Marissa TV nga President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu bw'akugambye. Nkwebaza yonna yonna gy'osinzira okubeera nga ogoberera nze Mordecai Marissa era kansuubire oli bulungi. Nja kusaba okubeera ng'otandika n'okulikinga eno video byebimu ku birago obuwagizi bw'olina eri enteekateeka oba ebintu ebikolebwa ku mukutu guno ate mu ngeri y'emu ngenda kubeera nga nkusaba okubeera nga osubscribinga ku channel eno. Mission ya kulaba nga tuweza abantu emitwalo 2 mwezi ogwokubiri nga tegunnaba kubeera nga guggwaako osobola okunyamba okubeera nga okikola. Mulina engeri gye mumpagidde tunatera okuweza omutwalo gumu n'ekitundu. That's amazing. Tubulako katono nnyo tuweze ogumu n'ekitundu ate taking a marathon nga tuweza emitwalo 2. Mu ngeri y'emu nja kusaba okubeera ng'ogenda ku mukutu gwo ogwa Amazon bw'oba oli mu ggwanga ogulina eririna enkola ya Amazon osobole okubeera ng'ogula ekitabo kyange The Odyssey of the Optimist. Olugendo lw'omuntu akkiriza nti enkya bigenda kubeera bulungi kya $12 paperback ate hardcover ya $15 Kindle ku $6. Forward oba okusemba okwenkiza okw'ekitabo kino kwawandiikibwa Joel Ssenyonyi ng'asemba abantu okugula ekitabo kyange. Weebale nnyo okubeera ng'okikola. Well, waliwo omusajja simanyi naye mu Uganda yagamba nti singa osasulwa okubeera omusiru amagezi go gakoma okubeera n'omugaso. I don't know I think loose translation mu Lungereza nti if you're paid to be a fool, your common sense or wisdom ceases to have any function. Singa bagamba nti tukuwadde ensimbi zino twagala obeere musiru amagezi go gaba tegakyalina mugaso oteekeddwa okubeera nga ogateeka ebbali otandika okwolesa obubuyabuya bw'olina mu mutwe. Ngenda gezaako okulaga difference eyo oba distinction mweno video gye nkoleddewo olwaleero lwa podcast gye tulina olwaleero. Olwo yaŋŋambye oteekeddwa okukkaatiriza zino podcast z'okola sitera nnyo okozesa eyo term. Naye kantandike n'okulaga waneeno Simon Kagwanja lawyer asobola okukola interview. Alina olumu wakola interview waba agitadde buli kimu eviirayo ddala. Kati eno interview gye yakoze badde nungi nnyo ng'abuuza ebibuuzo ku sayidi zombi. Yatandise abuuza Waiswa Mufumbiro ku nsonga agamba nti kiki mulemedde ku Muhoozi kino ky'amannyo nga mumwesibye ku byayogera kitemumwesonyiwa. Ngenda kuwa Waiswa Mufumbiro deputy spokesperson wa NUP byayanukula eyandibadde nga preamble statements zasooka okukola then nkuzannyire statements za Kabanda olabe dichotomy olabe enjawulo eri wakati w'abantu babiri okuva mu camps 2. Jukira NUP bagamba yabayaga terina kyemanyi. Now Waiswa Mufumbiro abuuzibwa Kagwanjala mu kutandika.
There's a sense out there that NUP is overreacting to what the Minister of Information earlier called just mere rhetoric from the general.
Well, the Minister of Information is not one, especially the one in office, will take his word because he's always living in oblivion from the reality. He has come off so many times ignorant about the occurrence of what is happening. You heard him give meek reaction to the abduction of Dr. Kanokiza Besigye. He was living in Ozum, so we have chosen to listen to him but not to understand him.
Okay. Do you get this sense that NUP is actually outraged by the comments that are being made by General Muhoozi Kainerugaba?
Actually, we have no, National Unity Platform has no attention in detail given to the DNA General, but our concern is that this is a person occupying public office. And this public office is not the usual public office. This is an office that has assumed power of even commandeering war without the consent of the third arm of government or even the commander-in-chief. Now, if you have a person with all your military arsenal in a state of quagmire, then there is absolutely reason to be worried. And of course, descending a country into a lack of continuity, descending a country into total abrogation of the doctrine of separation of powers is effervescent in the character and the moral aptitude of these streets. These streets have not only created a national scourge, but they have also put on us a foreign scar. You heard and you know what happened when he was suspended from the military because of his tweets against Kenya. That was a punitive. In fact, he was given both a caution and asked to step aside. That was a punishment. Other generals who have visited radio stations have gone out to make certain personal statements. You are alive to Kanobogere, you are alive to General David Nyifunza, you are alive to the 9 years of Henry Tumukunde. So we are bothered by the failure of the system and the consistent rise of anarchy, tyranny, and total abrogation of the doctrine of separation of powers in management of democracy.
Very interesting.
Okay, Agambia. Actually, we have the National Unity Platform has no attention in detail given to the DNA General. But our concern is that this is a person occupying public office. Office. And this public office is not the usual public office. Ateno office ya bulijjo. I mean, Commander of the Defense Forces. This is an office that has assumed the power of commanding war without consent of the third arm of government. Nti eno office etuto obuvunanyizibwa bw'okulabanga egenda mu ntalo nga tefunye lukusa kuva mu gimu ku mikono gya government. Or even the commander chief. Oba okuvayo omuduumizi w'eggye ly'eggwanga ow'oku ntikko. Neyongero n'agamba, if you have a person with all military arsenal, with your military arsenal in the state of quagmire, nti bw'oba olina omuntu akutte ebyokwerinda by'eggwanga byonna eby'oku ntikko n'abiteeka mu mbeera ey'akacyankalano ebuusibwabuusibwa ey'obulabe, then there's absolutely reason to be worried. Waliwo ensonga ey'okweraliikirira nti ebyokwerinda by'eggwanga singa omuntu aba abikulembera ow'oku ntikko abiteeka mu kaseera ak'okweraliikirira, then oteekeddwa okweraliikirira. Nagamba, and of course, the descending a country into lack of continuity. Omuntu oyo ayongera okukkakkanya oba okussa eggwanga okulitwala mu kaseera ak'okulimalawo. Descending a country into total abrogation of the doctrines of the separation of powers. Okusindika eggwanga mu kuvumirira ennono ey'okwawula obuyinza mu government. Nagamba, is effervescent in the character amazeewo kiba kimalawo empisa bweteekeddwa okubeera nga tutambulira. And the moral aptitude of these tweets kyekyeragira mu ebyo byateeka ku mukutu gwa Twitter. N'agamba these tweets have not only created a national scourge, nti zino Twitter oba ebintu byawandiika ku mukutu gwe tebireetedde ggwanga lyaffe kubeera nga lyesanga mu ntata, but they have also put on us a foreign scar. Nebitaddeko enkovu engwira butya bwe batulaga tulina enkovu ku ngeri gye batulabamu kubanga ono yaduumira eggye ly'eggwanga ebitongole by'okwerinda yayogera bino. Tufunye enkovu okwetooloola ensi. N'agamba you had and you know what happened when he was suspended from the military because of his tweets against Kenya. Omanyi kyamutuukako bye yayogera ku Kenya. That was punitive. Ng'okumumoderniza. In fact, he was given both caution and asked to step aside. Yalabulwa yanaasabibwa asookadde ebbali. That was a punishment. Other generals who have visited radio stations have gone out to make certain personal statements. You're live to Kano Bwogere and General David Nyefuza. N'ayogera ku abo bazze bagezaako okwogera okwetaba mu byobufuzi nakyo kibatuuseeko gye batinyefuza. N'agamba you are live to the 9 years of Henry Tumukunde. Emyaka 9 gya Henry Tumukunde n'agamba tosobola kwetaba mu byabufuzi. N'agamba so we are bothered by the failure of the system. Tusumbuyibwa olwa system enkola y'ebintu okubanga efudde and the consistent rise of anarchy n'akatyabaga ak'okutuusa obulabe okwamba n'okutulugunya abantu ebiva mu bitongole by'okwerinda. Tyranny, obufuzi obwo obw'omukono ogw'ekyuma and total abrogation of the doctrines of separation of powers in management of the democracy. N'okuvumirira okw'okwawula obuyinza mu mikono gya gavumenti oba mu masiga ga gavumenti naddala mu kutambuza enfuga eya demokrasiya. Eyo eringa nga preamble introduction ya Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro. Chef's kiss. Kati uliza Kabanda.
Good morning, Simon.
Do you imagine that Noop is making a storm in a teacup? Or indeed, the comments that are being made by your boss are really disturbing to the extent of threatening to behead a head of a political party, the opposition?
Simon, I don't know the context in which you got General Muhoozi's message. Most especially when he said that he's going to behead Kyagulanyi's head. To us, it was a political statement. And you saw me when I was giving an explanation to it. All of us politicians, including you, Simon, and Waiswa Mufumbiro, have always made these statements. When you're campaigning, you say, I am going to finish this person. This one is finished. I am going. He himself said, Mpuga is finito. Finito means finished. When you say you're finishing someone, in what context are you saying it? Are you going to kill him? What are you going to do to that person?
They're interpreting his comments literally?
Because they can't understand him. General Muhoozi, all of us know that he has the capacity to do what he tweeted. He has the capacity. He does so.
I want to tell you he doesn't.
Okay, maybe you know he doesn't, but what he tweeted is not what he meant. He said, I am going to... You see, when they finish you as a politician, when they cut your head off as a politician, doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is going to come with a panga, with a knife, with whatever you see.
So he just wanted to sound metaphorical?
Absolutely. Because the General Muhoozi that I know is, as he tweeted before, he said some of these tweets, he takes them as jokes. Because government has never gazetted Twitter as an official communication for all government officials. That for Kabanda to give a position of government, he has to go on Twitter, or a minister has to go on Twitter. And you cannot say so and so tweeted, therefore let's take his message serious. it's not gazetted as an official government platform for communication.
MK's job.
Chichi, kama nafu. Inali. Yen agami acha. Simon, I don't know the context in which you got General Muhoozi's message. Simanyi ebigambo bya Muhoozi wabifunye otya. Most especially when he said that he's going to behead Kyagulanyi's head to us, bwe yagambye nti agenda kutemako omutwe gwa Kyagulanyi. Jukira ode statement gyagambye bwe yagambye nti agenda kutemako omutwe gwa Kyagulanyi. Uli atakozesa nya Kyagulanyi, yakozesa ka Bobi. Njagala ojjukira ebyo ebigambo kuba ngenda bikozesa mu maaso awo. N'agamba, to us it was a political statement, and you saw me when I was giving an explanation to it. N'agamba, all of us politicians, including you, Simon, and Waiswa Mufumbiro, have always made these statements when campaigning. Fena tukozesa statements ebyofuzi nga tukuba campaigns. You say I'm going to finish this person. N'ogamba nti omuntu wenda kumumaliriza awedde. Ogamba, this one is finished. I'm going n'ayogera ku Mufumbiro okubeera nga akozesa finito okwogera ku mpuuga. N'agamba, finito means finished. When you say you're finishing someone, in what context are you saying? Are you going to kill him? What are you? Oyogera otegeeza ki ogenda kumutta? N'agamba, what are you going to do? Interpreting these comments literally because they can't understand. N'agamba mbu tebasobola kumutegeera ensonga ki ebintu bino byayogera bizibu nnyo Muhoozi, byayogera bizibu nnyo tebasobola kumutegeera. N'agamba nti they literally because they can't understand him. All of us know that he has the capacity to do what he wants to do. Muhoozi alina olukusa asobola n'okukola ekyayogedde kyagambye okukola. Waiswa n'amugamba nedda olimba talina lukusa obwo, talina na buyinza obwo. Ne yeeyongerayo. He said some of his tweets are jokes. N'ayongera n'adiffe n'agamba government has never gazetted, the government has never gazetted Twitter as an official communication for all government officials. Nti government eteekanga omukutu gwa Twitter nga omutongole okuyisaako obubaka bw'abakozi ba government. Now listen to complete and utter contradiction of this man. Atandisa agamba nti context gye wagitwaliddemu si kyamaanyi. Ayinza okuba kyabaddeko kitegeeza ffe tugamba nti ngenda kukutemako omutwe, mbyofuze tutegeeza nti ngenda kuleeta jambia nkutemeko omutwe, ntegeeza ngenda kukulwanyisa nkulemesa okutuukiza ebirooto byo, kyagezaako okutugamba. Nagambe tobitwala nga kyamaanyi nnyo. Ne wayitawo obusekenzi nga butonyo n'agamba n'ekirala eyo Twitter eyo temugitwala nga kyamaanyi. Oli abadde asaaga. Gavumenti eteekangawo omukutu gwa Twitter kuguteekanga mu gimu mitongole egiteekeddwa okubeera nga gitwalibwa serious ku biki abakozi ba government kwe banayisanga obubaka bwabwe. So what is what? Which is which? Ayabadde asaaga ebyateeka ku mukutu yabadde asaaga oba tuteekeddwa bitwa serious kubanga si kyamaanyi. What are you trying to say? Eno preamble ebigambo ebigulawo nga bakuwadde omuzindaalo. Bwemba omanyi wala akalango ndowooza akaali ku gundi, ndowooza akaali ku CBS FM edda nga Katulu bw'amandoze yakakola oba ng'agamba nti sebo osobola okunzijira mu radio zonna n'ondekera mu CBS FM. We namugamba nze lwaki? We naga nze gye njagala. Nange ngeeza kugamba wano nti nyina engeri gye nsobola okumutinga, saaga okubeera buli kasanga mutinga, nsobola okumutinga Kabanda nemba nga simuwulira, because what sort of nonsense is this? I am sorry. Kweso limyor. Nebiki byayogera. Complete hogwash, word salad. Naye tunoloza amaze yagenze mu maaso. Bwe bagenze mu maaso mu debate, Simon Kagwanjala yabuuzizza nti, are you being hysterical? Mutidde buti about mere jokes kubanga oli agayadde asaaga. N'abuuza Kabanda nti, n'abuuza Waiswa Mufumbiro, mutidde buti ku byabugambye, are you being hysterical about a mere joke or a litany of jokes?
Are you simply being hysterical about a mere joke or a litany of jokes?
You see, what is unfortunate is that in quest for aggrandizement of the tyrant, and the
Who is a tyrant?
And as I'm submitting of the tyrant, a lot of escapism is fronted to the public. Even if it were jokes, is it in the position of the commander of the defense forces to joke that way? Forget about Kyagulanyi. We have had international strife about this. Foreign relations have been affected. Go to Sudan. I saw them give a presser. I mean, if you want to be a disturbing DNA general, be like in Congo, be like Laurent Kabila and Joseph Kabila. One murdered the father and took over, if you are right on what you're speaking about. And if you talk about the rule of law I am talking about, is that the other time it was an apology from the commander-in-chief. There was nothing punitive. It was an apology from the commander-in-chief to Ugandans on behalf of his son. It would have been an apology by the DNA general himself. The reason I'm saying DNA general is because his father...
What is DNA?
DNA is like if, when in your blood, by coincidence, you are born by Kagwanjala, you will be a son of Kagwanjala, whether you want it or not. So some people have benefited to taking offices because their fathers are somewhere. Whether they have experience at war, experience and success at war, you will not find it anywhere on any trail, but they will be elevated to amounts of positions that you will not understand. That's not our problem. Our problem is that he is doing whatever he is doing in our uniform. That is not his uniform. That is not his father's uniform. That is Uganda's uniform. That flag
Could
is
it
not...
be that NUP is now capitalizing on this for their political limelight?
You see, why would we want limelight from a dead torch? We are the torch. Why would we go for a dead torch for limelight? He is the person who is incensed with the leadership of the National Unity Platform. And this is a family problem. These are exercises of what they had prepared for the Crown Prince being impossible.
Waiswa agambye atya. You see, what is unfortunate, ekisinga okubeera nga kikwasa ennaku oba ekibi, in quest for aggrandizement of the tyrant, mugezaako okunoonya butya bw'owaana bw'ositula nakyemalira. agambye nti in quest for aggrandizement of the tyrant, gy'omuwaana, a lot of escapism is fronted to the public. Okuteekawo ebintu ebigezaako okujja ku mulamwa biteekebwawo. N'agamba, but even if it were jokes, kwandibadde kusaaga. Is it in the position of the command of the defense forces to joke that way? Kiri mu kifo ky'omuduumizi w'eggye ly'eggwanga ow'oku ntikko, omuduumizi w'ebitongole by'ebyokwerinda mu Uganda, okubeera ng'asaaga bw'atyo? N'agamba, forget about Kyagulanyi. And absolutely, n'agamba, bino bijjeemu Kyagulanyi. We've had international strife about these foreign relations. Foreign relations have been affected. Go to Sudan. Naga tubadde n'obukuubagano n'amawanga agamu olwabino. Kama ekyokulaba yakola ba Sudan, I saw them give a presser. Twabalaba nga batuuza bafulumiza ekiwandiiko kya mawulire bagamba bino ebigambo bijjibwewo. I mean, if you want to be a disturbing DNA general, be like in Congo. Bw'oba oyagala kubeera oyo general ow'effujjo akola ebikolwa bino ebitali mulamwa, beera ng'e Congo. Laurent Kabila ne Joseph Kabila oli natta kitaawe n'afuna obuyinza. Bw'obanga by'oyagala okwogerako. And if you're talking about the rule of law, I'm talking about is that it was time. Waneeno abadde ali mu kumwanukula wano. Katono nnyo. Yes, ngenda kukoma okweyo statement endala gyali mu koonako. Agambye nti bw'oba oyanukula waneeno, namugamba nti bwe mba njogera ku tteeka, agamba nti kitaawe yeetonda eri bannayuganda ne bannansi ba Kenya. Muhoozi teyetonda nko ku bintu byayogera. There was nothing punitive. Kubanga Kabanda wali abadde ayagala kugamba nti baamubonereza olwakola biri ebyo olwayogera ebigambo, ekiraga nti mu Uganda tulina amateeka, tulina rule of law. Namugamba no, kitaawe yeetonda, tulaba nko kwetonda okuva wa Muhoozi. N'agamba nti There was nothing punitive. It was an apology from the commanding chief to Ugandans on behalf of his son. It would have been an apology by the DNA general himself. Muhoozi yandibadde yeetonda yennyini nnyini. The reason I'm saying DNA, lwaki amuyita DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid general. Ekigambo bandibadde bamuyita GMO, genetically modified, GMG, genetically modified genome. Is because his father is like, if you know, when your blood by coincidence you are born by Njalanti, bw'ozaalibwa njala, you'll be son of njala, oyinza n'ofuna omulimu ku NBS. Ogwo mulimu okufunye kubanga ozaaliddwa ntanyo okumuyita neighbor baby mu Lungereza bakiyita. Nti omulimu ogufunye taata we yali munnamawulire ne ofuuka munnamawulire. Chances z'okuba nti wafuuka munnamawulire olwakitaawo bibeera ebitundu nga 99 ku 100. Muhoozi okufuuka general n'okubeera mu magye, it is because of his dad. N'agamba nti whether you want it or not, some people have benefited to taking offices because they are somewhere. They have it. Now you're going to success will find you anywhere in the trail, but they will be elevated to amount of position that you will not understand. That's not our problem. Our problem is that he's doing whatever he's doing in our uniform. That is not his uniform. That is not his father's uniform. That is Ugandan uniform. And rightly so. Ebirala byonna esookubeera background noise. Ne bino byakola bikolera mu office, mu uniform yaffe. Bigenda mu maaso n'okubeera nga bibeera recorded. Eggwanga lyaffe nga balyogerako bwe bati. Kye twogerako. Nga bw'agambye nti tubijjamu Bobi Wine bino eno. Ne bino byakola biri mu kukosa ekifaananyi kya Uganda okwetooloola ensi. Bakadde baffe baatunyumiza abaasooka n'abaatambula myaka gy'ekinaana n'egy'ekyenda n'2000 n'okutuusa olwaleero bw'oyogera Uganda boogera ekintu kimu Idi Amin. Lwaki tumanyibwako ekyo mu bintu byonna ebirungi? Lwaki tumanyibwako kimu bw'oyogera ne boogera Idi Amin dada n'ebikolobero bye yakola? Nyina abawagizi ba Amin bagenda okungamba nedda tomwogerako, yali mukulembeze mubi. Ntegeeza ki? Museveni mubi n'Amin naye yali mubi. Balina ebirungi bye bakoze 1% weriye. N'omuntu kasita yeetaba mu kuwamba, okutta n'okutulugunya bannansi, oyo aba mubi. So sina debate, Amin yali mukulembeze mubi. Abalala bafunamu some sort of Mulungeza bakiyita nostalgic. Wala abawulira nga bandyagadde okubeera mu bukulembeze bwa Amin kubanga Museveni atuyisiza bubi. Bonna babi mukwano. Simon kwe kubuuza nti could it be that NUP is capitalizing on this for their political limelight? NUP yogera ku bino ebintu kubanga eyagala amasannyalaze, eyagala bagifeeko. And I loved what Mufumbiro said. He said, why would we want limelight from the dead watch? From the dead torch. Lwaki tufuna amasannyalaze okuva mu torch enfu? Why would we go for a dead limelight? Lwaki tugenda muntu atakikola? Is the person who is obsessed and incensed with the leadership of the National Unity Platform. This is a family problem. Kizibu kyabwe nga bo. Nagamba, the excesses of what they had prepared for the crown prince being impossible. Bino byolaba bye biva mu kugezaako kwe baali bagezaako okuteekateeka Muhoozi ebitaatuukirira kati banyiivu. This was a very wonderful conversation. Olwamaze awo Kabanda n'ayagala okwogera. Ne babuuza nti yabadde ayogera ng'agamba nti byayogera ebyo bikyamu kubanga Kabanda kamukuwe ng'ayogera then tukomeyo twanukule ku ekyo.
Given his position as the CDF of the National Army, do you find your boss appropriate in his jokes?
Waiswa Mufumbiro has just mentioned here that when he joked, when he tweeted about Kenya, he was suspended. It is you who has just said it here. And later contradicts himself and said, you see, in Uganda, they are abana nebiana. Because when Bogere talked, he was expelled. You know what happened to Tumukunde? But you have just said here that when he tweeted about Kenya, he was suspended, which means there is rule of law, even in Uganda. Even on General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, if he does a mistake, they will go for him and punish him.
Argumentation. Waiswa Mufumbiro just mentioned that when he joked, when he tweeted about Kenya, he was suspended. It is you who has just said it and later contradicts himself and said that he in Uganda, the Ebiana Nabana, when he talked about Bogere being expelled to Mukunde, but you have just said that here, that when he tweeted about Kenya, he was suspended, which means the rule of law. There's rule of law even in Uganda, even on Muhoozi Kainerugaba. If he does a mistake, they will go on to punish him. Kati Kabanda gezaako kwogera agamba byoyogedde olaze nti bwe baba bamubonereza kiraga nti mu Uganda mulimu amateeka. Leka nkubireko ekintu kimu mu ezo statement zaako zikyatamanyi. One, wali abadde yeekweka nga taagala kwogera ku nsobi Muhoozi zali mu kukola, naye bw'ayogedde kino amaze okuadmitinga nti Muhoozi yakola ensobi. He admits bw'agamba nti he was punished newankubadde teyali, kubanga taata we yeetonda Muhoozi ye teyeetondangako. Naye katugambe nti bw'aba yali punished mu ngeri embwe yakola ensobi, kitugamba kiffe abali ku opposition. I mean, even a dead clock is right twice a day. N'essaawa enfu ebeera ntuufu waakiri emirundi 2 mu lunaku. N'agamba then bw'ayogedde nti singa akola ensobi mistake eno gy'abakozi basobola mubonereza. When it comes to Muhoozi, this is not a mistake. This has become a habit. With Muhoozi, this is not a bug in his life. This is a feature of his life. And then bw'ogamba nti yabonerezebwa, ng'ogezaako kwaludinga ku Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro kyayogedde nti yabonerezebwa ku ebyo yateeka ku mukutu gwe ogwa Twitter. Ate nga wali otugambye nti gavumenti tegazeetingangako ku Twitter kubeera nti abakungu oba abakozi ba gavumenti kubayisa obubaka bwabwe. Kati ate baali bamubonereza ki ng'ebintu abitadde ku mukutu ogutali recognized by the Ugandan government? Omutwe guno oba olaba contradiction. Kati ye mugezaako okulowooza nti alaga butya Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro bwe yeekontradictinze, ate ye yeekontradictinga. Oh my God. yeekontradictinga ye yennyini mu ngeri zimu, okulaga nti kano beetaaga bakavunulire Muhoozi bakamuwe. Kwana amaze okulaga nti Muhoozi akola ensobi. Ekyokubiri nga bwe gambye nti n'essaawa enfu waakiri ebeera namu emirundi 2 mu lunaku. Bw'agamba nti Muhoozi akola ensobi. No, Muhoozi takola nsobi. This is what Muhoozi is. This is a habit. Then n'okugamba nti yabonerezebwa kubanga yakola yateeka ku Twitter kyokka, agambye Twitter is not gazetted as an official form of communication okuva mu bakungu ba gavumenti. Wake up my brother Kabanda. Then nga mmaliriza, Simon yagambye nti byabadde ayogera kuki bino byatadde ku mukutu gw'ogamba nti ayagala kutemako Bobi Wine mutwe. Kabanda yayanukudde.
Honorable Kabanda, do we take it that Muhoozi is now speaking as the leader of the Patriotic League of Uganda, and do you endorse his statements?
There are so many statements. Exactly what
when you look at the thread, especially the attacks that he's making on a presidential aspirant,
he has
one-time presidential candidate, now aspirant.
He has just made a statement now, the deputy spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, that whatever Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has said about General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is an opinion.
Descriptive.
Yeah, it's an opinion, and to me, when General Muhoozi Kainerugaba says that Mufumbiro is not a presidential material, that's his opinion. Because he said
A CDF
yes,
declares someone unfit to stand for the presidency.
a CDF has a right to vote. The Constitution of Uganda does not stop men and women in uniform to participate in choosing who should be their leaders.
But it's barred from making political comments.
He just said that that's an opinion. By the way, I just told you, the Constitution does not stop him from discussing politics. The Constitution only stops him from discussing or participating in partisan politics. Participation means what? Me and you have decided to go and participate in an election, which is partisan. I just told you that we have army officers in parliament. They are doing politics in parliament. Even you here, many times, you have invited army officers, including generals, Kuraije, to talk about politics. When you invite Kuraije here on a political talk show, what do you expect him to talk about? He doesn't tell you what happens in Congo. He doesn't tell you what happens in Central African Republic. You even ask him the questions you pose to Kuraije. They are political. So any army officer is free to talk about politics as long as they are not partisan. So to me, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's opinion on Waiswa Mufumbiro or Kabanda, according to the Constitution, are very okay. If he says you're not fit to be a leader in Uganda.
Here is a general and command of the defense forces saying, as far as I'm concerned, Kabobi is a lumpen, illegal, delinquent, who does not and never qualified to stand for the high office of the president of Uganda.
Who's Kabobi? I don't know Kabobi. I need to ask him the person he meant. Because I know if you say the leader of National Unity Platform, I know his names. He's called Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobi Wine. But I don't know Kabobi. Maybe he was talking about his either a friend called Kabobi, or he was talking about his driver called Kabobi, but he has not anywhere mentioned that Bobi Wine or Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu will never and does not qualify to be a president of the Republic of Uganda. Unless you bring a statement where General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has clearly stated that Kyagulanyi, Robert Ssentamu or Bobi Wine does not qualify to run for the top seat. Or he is a lumpen, a dimwit, or a fool and illegal, as you have just stated. But I have never seen a statement of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba clearly states that Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is this. I only see Kabobi. So I need to ask him who Kabobi is.
I want to bring it to you.
One, of course, it is very important to understand. General Museveni described the people around his son as conmen. These are his words. Opportunists, conmen, and he did not distinguish. Actually, he chose out those he thought were not conmen.
I also want to give him information because he doesn't know.
I was the one. You have been speaking. No. Simon.
Point of privilege.
No.
Do you allow it?
I am describing. Now, do you want the debate? Or
do you allow a point of privilege?
We don't have time.
Just a point of information. Give him a second.
I don't need information. I am privileged to have been part of that meeting. the president said.
Excuse me.
Point of privilege.
No.
Do you allow?
Okay, I will allow you.
You will have time.
I was part of the meeting where the president was asked by a member of parliament, because where he said it from was Chankwanzi. I am just giving him information because I'm privileged to have been part of the meeting.
So he has said it. Has he said that his son was surrounded by conmen?
Can he wait?
No, I will not wait. I will not wait.
The president has never said that the people around his son are conmen.
He said what?
Exactly. That's what I wanted you to
No,
learn
I don't want.
me.
You will tell me.
No, because you don't
You
know.
will tell me.
You want to mislead the viewers.
No.
You said you are a man of facts.
I
Do you
am
remember when you said it?
And I'm saying.
Do you remember when you said you are a man
let
of facts?
Kagwanjala tell us, because as I was speaking, now if you
do you remember when you said you are a man of facts?
And I'm giving facts.
You are not giving facts.
I have said.
I said I want to give you a point of privilege because I was there.
No. I don't need you because you did not bring it first.
No, the videos, the
time.
audios, I am taking time because you are misleading the viewers. And you said...
Are you a con man?
No, I am not.
I am an opportunist.
But
now can you allow me to speak? Why are you being angry if you are not a con man? I have heard that man speak.
No, General
he has spoken.
Okay. I will not.
Kagwanjala,
I am not going to allow him.
No,
I knew you will
no,
not.
the president
said.
The president was quoted as saying that the people surrounding
are looking for their own.
Are opportunists
no.
And the conmen.
The president said
opportunists
some of
and
the
people.
Some of
now
the people.
You want me to discuss what you want? Let me discuss.
Was that true? Or
wait,
the president said.
Let me discuss.
Some of
Kagwanjala,
the people.
let me tell the public what I want to say. I am going to give the public information.
I was there.
Okay, he said some.
He said some of the people
I am here.
around General Muhoozi Kainerugaba are looking for their own
I'm a bit difficult
things.
to handle Kabanda.
Okay, fine.
Because I have given him time.
Fine, proceed.
Agamanti, a CDF has a right to vote, absolutely. The Constitution of Uganda does not stop men and women in uniform to participate in choosing who should be their leader, absolutely. To call this a secret ballot. I just told you the Constitution does not stop him from discussing politics. The Constitution only stops him from discussing politics in a partisan politics. Mbu Constitution temugana kweta mambia fuze mugana kubyogerako oba bichi byayogera oba atamidde. Participation means what? Mbu, me and you have decided to go and participate in an election which is partisan. I just told you that we have officers in parliament. They are doing politics in parliament. Even you here, many times you have invited officers, including generals, to talk about politics. When you katuwira byayogera mbumuleeta bannamajjo ne boogera ku byobufuzi ki ekibaleesa ekibaleeta kubabuuza butya bebeesimba wani gwe bawagira oba zibeera issues of national importance. Kati oneetamanyi what does the term partisan mean? Yagamba Muhoozi byayogera waddemba okubyogera gyayongedde okwogerera n'atuuka wali eri kwe kumubuuza n'agamba mbu weyayogedde n'agamba mbu oba onolumpe noba iligo oba delinquent kwe kubuuza mbu who is Kabobi? I don't know. I need to ask him okususpendinga obwongo bwo okubeera ng'odifendinga omuntu ali indefensible kyali mukola mbu Kabobi keekaani? Kabobi keekaani? Who is Kabobi? Neetaaga okumubuuza. We wavudde wali olutalo Waiswa Mufumbiro ng'agamba nti okugezaako okuwaana n'okusuusuuta nakyemalira oteekeddwa okwekkakkanya okwetuusa kw'eno level. Olina okwetuusa kw'eno level. N'agamba nti Museveni gye buvuddeko yagamba nti abeetoolodde Muhoozi beenoonyeza byabwe, opportunists, soft seekers. Laga takyogerangako. Only that he did. Munjogera mu Lungereza ali njogera egamba nti only a hit dog will holler. Embwa ekubiddwa yegenda okuwoowoola. Nti omuntu akoma okwegaana kati nga bw'omulaba akaana n'okkaana Kabanda kubanga amanyi kye boogedde kituufu. Amanyi bye yeenoonyeza asemberedde Muhoozi. Bano be babbalamu nga bw'olaba ekifaananyi ku screen. Muhoozi agamba nti I'm ready to meet my brother Mr. Robert Kyagulanyi anytime. Some of our people are demanding a meeting. Balamu n'agamba great move master, amuyita na master. Then n'amaliza wali n'agamba I've cancelled my meeting with Kabobi, we can't meet a buffoon. Ate Balamu n'agamba thank you Supreme Commander, he must apologize to the world for disrespecting our muzeeyi. Ye talina kifo, empewo gyedda gyadda. Muhoozi wagamba wano wendi naye waali talina kifo kikyenga muntu. Obuswavu obuli ku bantu bano. Naye nga mmaliriza engalo okuva ewa Waiswa Mufumbiro. Thank you so much. Wakuto omusajja n'omubwebwe nano. Muganda wange yambulidde ka interview kaneeno. Shaba. Owa munna Uganda 256. Thank you so much, brother. Hey, ndoza katukome waneeno. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Okwongera okuba menyina mu interviews zino. Kati ate ne badde mpanvu. Saagadde video ebeere mpanvu nnyo naye yabadde ejjudde okukuba omutwe gwa Kabanda engolo nga 5. Naye saagadde video wanvu wennyo. Mbulira kyolowooza. Teekawo comment. Bw'oteekawo comment, YouTube erina engeri gye recommendingamu abantu ku YouTube channel okujja okulaba video ng'eno. So weebale nnyo, weebalire ddala. Okay, excuse me. Twegweko olunaku olulala, nze Muhoozi Mulisa nkwagaliza okubeera obulungi, weeraba.
Did you enjoy what you just watched? I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa YouTube channel? Thank you.